Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we are outside and on this beautiful spring day. It's a little chilly yet. We're up here in Michigan. It's about, I don't know, maybe high 40s, low 50s today, but a little cool out here in the woods still, in the shade. And anyways, I'm out here because I want to collect some moss and some other little things so I can use to make a terrarium, and also maybe wander around and look for some deer antler sheds too. So it's getting close to that time of year. It's been a weird winter, so I don't know if I'll find any yet or not. Hopefully you can hear me because it's a little windy, but anyways, we're gonna wander around and see if we can find some different types of moss and just little things to add to our terrarium. I got my bucket, got some old Tupperware containers just to put individual things and separate them out. But we're just gonna wander around out here and see what we can find. Right off the bat here, I'm just kind of wandering around, but you can see this is kind of the stuff that we're looking for. Some of this moss. I don't know the different species or whatnot, but I think something like this will work. And I'm just gonna throw that in my little tub and then go on and see what else we can find. Sample 1 complete. So I am no expert at making a terrarium. I've never done it before, but I've found a couple channels that I liked, and I'll list them below. But one of the things that they mentioned was if you're just kind of going out on your property and looking for things to put in a terrarium, if you're in a climate where it's a little bit colder in the wintertime, look for plants that have made it through the winter and seem to be growing good. You know, it's like plants that can do so tend to work better in a terrarium. So like moss, typically you can find that most of the year round because it just grows about anywhere, anytime. So if you can find other little plants poking up that you think would look cool in your terrarium and it's still early, it probably would mean that they're not susceptible to being ruined in a terrarium. But it's a jungle out here. So as you can see right here is another patch of moss similar to what we just got, or probably the exact same thing, I don't know, but it looks similar. And if you jump over here on the side of this tree, there's a bunch of moss, and it's a different kind of moss. This is a little bit shorter and kind of more dense. So I'm gonna grab a little bit of this and keep on moving. Like one of these guys. Get some of those. If I have like a bigger jar, I can put them in for a different terrarium, but let's grab a handful of those. Gotta go see if the Groot tree is still there. That is the Groot tree. All the times I've walked through here, I don't ever recall seeing this tree. It's all crooked. Interesting. Speaking of interesting, look at this. Time to collect some samples. Well, no luck finding sheds today. Anyways, I think I'm gonna head back, see if I can maybe find some of that material for the substrate. If not, I got some other things that I can mix up and kind of make my own, but I won't have any of the springtails in there, so that's the only drawback. But like I said, you can always find those in a pet store. So I'm going to head back to the shop. See you back there. I wasn't able to find any substrate material, so I mixed up my own. I kind of want to have something that's not easily compactable, allows for filtration. Hopefully my mixture works. I used some, broke up some of this coconut core stuff And then added a little bit of earthworm castings and just your basic potting soil. But I think that'll work. We'll find out. Obviously I had the material on hand, so I also use it up. And like I said, other than finding the moss, which is readily available out in the woods, if it doesn't work out, I can always get some actual terrarium substrate and try it again. But for now, that's what we're going with. And then I got some leftover rocks, like basically pebbles and different things that I've kept from my rock polishing. They were too small to make anything out of them, but I figured if I was going to use them, something like this would work perfect. So we got our rocks for our base layer, we've got our substrate, and then we're going to add some charcoal on top of that. That helps with the filtration as well. Or rocks, charcoal, substrate, and then on top of that's where you put your plants. So I wasn't really able to find anything else as far as the different types of moss for this right now, but as long as it keeps growing, I can add to it later. For the container, I'm going to be trying to get everything into this quite large light bulb. I already have it hollowed out. Certainly be careful when you want to try to do everything by hand, as opposed to like grinding this off with a grinder. The vibration might break the bulb. Obviously, if you're holding on to it, you can squeeze it and cut yourself and all that stuff. So, but what I did was I had a coarse piece of sandpaper, put it on a hard, flat surface, and sanded it down until that was basically open on that solder joint there. And then I just used some pliers to break apart that, whatever that insulating material is there. You have to be careful though, because once you get inside of the light bulb, it's, when they make it, the inside and the outside bulb part are two separate things, and when they put it together, they heat it all up. So basically you have like a, it goes like all the way on the outside, and then it kind of just loops back up into itself. So you have like a piece of glass on the inside that you have to cut through. And I used one of these diamond bit, or whatever you want to call them, hole saws. That's what gave me that nice smooth cut on the inside, but you got to be real careful. You can go real slow, and I kept dipping the bit into like a little container of water just to help keep it cool. Yeah, I think it's gonna look cool. I got this little base thing. I think it's for displaying basketball or some kind of like sports memorabilia, if you can say the word properly. Oh, I got stuff all over that. But I think I'm gonna have it on there like that. That way I can get everything down in there. I was thinking initially like this, but I want to be able to like more or less pour everything down inside of there, so having it upright like that will be easier to manage. I think maybe just have it off a little bit of a side angle, and then at some point I'm going to have to make some kind of plug for this as well. But I'm actually saving these are more kind of decorative ones that I want to put inside on top of that, just more for looks, kind of like that maybe. I also got these large tweezers, so that way we can hopefully get down in there and move stuff around if you need to. Kind of hard to see what I'm doing here. I just want to get these all down on the sides. to that. There. I'm going to add some of the charcoal on top of that. Alright, well, after making a mess and doing what I didn't want to do is get all that charcoal dust on there. We got our layer of charcoal in there, and you can't really see the stones anymore, but they're there. It's more for filtration anyway, so you won't really see it. The substrate will be over the top of all the charcoal, so that's going to be the next thing. I think I could actually pour the substrate in because that's fairly powdery, and then yeah, we'll do that next. Now we gotta try to squeeze our pieces of moss down in there. Try to get a manageable size here that will use the tweezers, and then we can snake it down in there. The thing with this, the problem with this is the tweezers, I can't open them up because of the shape of the bulb. 1 second. That's where a pair of these guys come in handy. I think there's some type of surgical thing, but it has like a little alligator thing that opens up on the end, so this will work perfect. When I say perfect, I mean at least open and close if I can grab it. Oh boy. I don't know what side's up and what side's not. I got so much dirt stuff over it. Alright. Hopefully when we spray our water in there, that'll help kind of spray some of that dirt off of the top so the moss doesn't look like garbage. And this stuff is kind of muddy. Need something to wash this off with. Tell you what, the last 2 videos that I've done are messy. I haven't got it posted yet, but as I'm making this video, I just finished making a Doradongo video, Doradongo sphere, and that was also very messy. trying to just kind of press everything down into the substrate so it grows. And got a little bit of area on this side. I could probably put some more in here. I think that's a good start. I think. I gotta go find a couple more twigs. The one that I had was awful small. And then I'm just gonna add actually I might try to clean some of that off first before I put all the elements in there. That way I can kind of stick my tweezers down in and wipe it down really good after we give it a little wash of the bottle so it looks nice, and then we can add our accent pieces. Well, this is going to work. Actually, I had a bullet casing, and I packed it with some of the charcoal and substrate, and I just put some of that stuff down in there. I'm going to stick that in there too. Okay guys, well, I think that turned out pretty good. It's not coming through as bright as it looks in person, but I think it looks pretty good. I want to get some springtails put in there. Apparently they help like eat dead leaves and mold that can grow in there. Got a little bit of debris on the inside of the bulb, so it's harder to see through on camera, but I think it turned out really cool. It's as long as it keeps growing, I think it'll be kind of a neat decoration, as long as my cats don't knock it on the floor and ruin the whole thing, because you know how cats are. Alright guys, well, if you're still here, thanks for sticking with me. I think this build turned out really cool, and hopefully I can keep it going. I will keep you guys posted. Obviously it's going to take a little while for the results. If it fails or not, it probably won't take too long to die off, but hopefully I can keep it going and keep it away from the cats. Hopefully we can keep this going. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more videos. See you guys later.